is David Henry, Hunter Engineering. I'm going to showcase the 635 tire changer. It's a tire changer made by Hunter Engineering that's great for over-the-road truck tires, but it also do 19.5, 16.5s, all these tires. I want to show you how it works with both a 19.5 and a 16.5 or 17.5 skid steer tire. Not sure this size, but we're going to get this mounted for you. First off, we're going to start with a 19.5. I'm going to turn on the motor here. It's going to make a little noise, but we're going to get this thing dismounted. We're going to use an advanced technique with a hook that's going to help us get that tire off without damaging the tire or the wheel. Let me get it fired up and get you going. Big thing with the 19.5 is making sure we identify the drop center. The drop center is toward the face on this wheel, so we need to have that face out. We're going to pull it in, light it up on the tulip, expand that tulip out until we grab the tire. It's going to sort of self-center. We just want to make sure it's there. We're going to pull that up. Initially, you'd want to break those beads. We're always going to use roller to break the beads. We're going to pick that up until we're right at the edge of the wheel. Pull it in, start rotating until we break those beads. That time we can use our lube brush and lube up that drop center of the wheel and the bead of the tire. We're going to pull it out, flip up our back roller. Push in until we break that bead, and then we're going to apply our lube there too. Just keep rotating. Put the lube on the tire. We're going to pull that back off. Go ahead and pull that roller down. Get that roller off, and we're going to use our hook. Set the hook down, and we're going to have a pin that goes in just to hold that hook from rotating. Then we can go ahead and start dismounting this tire. What I like to do is come in. Once we get past that drop on the hook, we can drop that tire down. We can rotate a little bit and it'll pop onto that hook. If we pull up on the tire and wheel, it'll pull the opposite side into the drop center and we can bring that hook out. What we don't want to do is pull that hook out too far. We just want to pull it out until the indicating line is there, or there's a little dot on the edge of that. Then we need to create a little bit of traction. Let me grab a bar and we'll get traction and pull it off. It's as easy as grabbing a small tire iron that comes with the machine. We're going to just create traction. And rotate, the first bead will come off. Once that bead comes off, we can flip up that back roller. And as we come out, we can actually create a little bit of a gap and rotate, and the tire will come off for us. Easy as that. We got the 19.5 tire dismounted. When you go ahead and drop that roller out of the way, we're going to put the tire back on for you. I like to move that hook out of my way just so I have a little more breathing room. Go ahead and lube your tire like normal. Both beads. What we're going to do is bring the trolley in until we're about halfway underneath the tire. Bring the wheel down into the tire. Give it a little rotate and just a little bit of pressure, and that first bead will go on there. Once you got the first bead on, we're going to use the hook for the lower bead just to make sure we get that on nice and easy. What I'm going to do is pull that wheel up until the hook slides right inside of there. Just go in far enough that the tire will ride on that hook. Then we need to create traction. We could use a traction tool or a traction bar. This J-bar practice bar comes with two different heads. You just pop that clip off, pull the aluminum head off. Gonna go ahead and slip that head back on. Slide our pin in to hold it in place. Then we're gonna create traction for that tire. And once we get that on there, we can rotate. And it feeds that tire right back on the wheel. Once we got it on there, we can just pull the hook out, and you'll see it'll pop back on. We can drop that wheel back down, release our tulip, and pull that wheel off. There was kind of an advanced move on a 19.5, how to dismount and mount it with a 635. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to do a 16.5. This is a skid steer. It's by Galaxy. It's a Beefy Baby 2, really stiff tire. There's a few tricks with this one because the center bore is so small on the wheel and the diameter is small that we need to use some adapters. So what I like to do, put these aluminum Alcoa adapters on it. They're going to come standard with your 635 Plus. But what that does is extend these jaws out a little further and give it a pad that it can mount up on that wheel. To install these, you just slip it on and you're going to tighten up that little cap screw. It doesn't need to be crazy tight, just tight enough it doesn't fall off. When we get it in tension, it's going to hold it. So we're going to roll that tire up there and get it on. Once you get them on, we're going to go ahead and collapse that down, just so it's small enough to go into the center of the wheel. We're going to roll our wheel up there, pull it in, and slipping it right up onto that clamp. Once we're on the clamp, we can extend that clamp out until it grabs the wheel. At that time, we can pick up, and now we have the wheel affixed. We can throw the roller in either one of the two holes. We put it in the closest one today, and we're going to break that bead. Again, start rotating and bring that roller in. Slowly break that bead. Once it's broken, go ahead and use lube. Make sure you get it on the edge of the wheel and on that tire. This is a really stiff sidewall tire, so we want to make sure we get some good lube on it. We don't want to damage it while we're servicing it. Rotate and break that back bead. Once the back bead's broken, we can go ahead and use our hook to pull this front bead off. Again, a little advanced, but not too bad. What we're going to do is bring that roller in, or that hook in, rotate, and we're going to bring that down just a little bit so we can get that hook inserted in there. Bring it down just a hair. You'll hear it grab the edge of the tire. When we pick up on the tire, that hook is going to keep that and bring it down into the drop center on the opposite side. Then we can pull that hook out. You see how it curled or defurled down into there? Now we can drop that wheel down just to take a little bit of pressure off of it. We want to keep a little pressure to keep it in that drop center. Then we're going to use our bar again. You see we're not using a big bar because it's not really needed to have a really big bar, but we need enough bar that we can kind of create a little traction. Then we're going to rotate, and as soon as it grabs traction, we can pull our bar off. It'll further that first bead off. Again, just pull out. As we rotate, it's just pulling the tire on the other side of the drop center. And we're not trying to pull the tire off with this. It's going to pop off of that in just a second. What we're doing is just pulling it on the other side of the drop center. We're going to keep bringing that inner roller out until it grabs traction, and the tire will come off for us. Again, we need to get that roller out of the way. I like to rotate your hook out of the way. Now we have the wheel dismounted, we can actually service our stem. This particular wheel we can dismount off of either side. If we dismount it off the other side, we might not need those adapters. We might need to try that out another time, but we're just going to change it for you today. These stiff tires, make sure you use some lube just so we don't chunk out a tire. Once we get that on there, I'm going to do the same procedure I did before. We can use the hook on the back side if we need to, but we're going to try to just push it into that drop center, and it pops on pretty easy. Once it's there, we're going to rotate our hook back into position. And again, with the steel wheel, have the steel jaws create traction. You got to make sure you're pulling out away from the center. As we rotate it, it'll throw that second bead on for us. Once it's on, just pull your hook out. And we can take the tire and wheel off the machine. So you need to go down just a hair, get it off that lip. And there you have it. 16.5 skid steer Beefy Baby. Beefy Baby 2, the really stiff sidewall one, on and off with the 635. Make sure you call your Hunter local representative and have him come out and talk to you about the 635 servicing over-the-road tires, 19.5s, skid steers, all those cakewalk with the 635 Hunter Engineering Tire Changer.